Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Ryan Winkler alongside Chandler Jansen. And Chandler, the Tigers coming into this one at 2-0. They're going to take on the rival Sikeston Bulldogs here tonight. And the Bulldogs, 1-1. They won their first game against Crystal City and then hit a bit of a stumbling block, I guess you could say, last week against Dexter.
Yes, well, you look at the final scores and you say, you know what, Crystal City, after that one, something to feel positive about, but then you turn around last week, go on the road to Dexter, lose 48-7. So they come on to the Cape Central Tigers Stadium now. That's where we're going to be set to take place for week number 3 of high school sports, high school football. And we are very happy to be here. Ryan Winkler alongside myself, Chandler Jansen. If you are listening to us on the radio, 95.7 FM and 1550 AM. Also, don't forget, we are on YouTube as well, Cape Central Sports. You will find the live stream over there.
The Tigers, like I said, Tigers 2-0. They have shut out their opponents 2 weeks in a row. They scored 28 points in the first half, 28 points in the first half 2 weeks in a row, and then just one touchdown last week in the second half. But they really get a couple more in the second half of the first week as the Tigers come out onto the field. And Chandler, you're going to have to take over. Paul's calling me.
So we take a look right now, and we see the Cape Central Tigers 2-0. We talked about the great running back duo between Keyshawn Boyd and Zaire Thomas, and that is something we look forward to once again this week as well. We named Keyshawn Boyd our player of the week on week 1. Last week it was Zaire Thomas. Saw a little bit more action from him. So it'll be interesting to see what they do here on the third week. Sikeston Bulldogs, a team that has not been very good the last couple of years. And now we see them here facing off against the Tigers this evening. Our pregame sponsor is brought to you by Cape Career and Technology Center. Their vision is to provide an environment for students to make career connections and advancements through education and training. That's the Cape CTC, proud sponsors of Cape Central football. So we got a little bit of time here left before we are going to be kicking off this game. About 4 minutes, 30 seconds is what they have on the clock. Both teams are set to take the field, and it's feeling rather nice on this Friday evening, Friday the 13th. They say something crazy always happens on Friday the 13th, so hopefully nothing too crazy, though. We're looking for another win here, a Cape Central Tigers football win, improving their record hopefully to 3-0 after the night is over with here. Very happy to be calling this game for you. Just a reminder once again, 95.7 FM, 1550 AM. And then if you want to watch and listen to us call the game, you can do that as well over there on YouTube, Cape Central Sports. We are happy to have you listening to us. So we got the coin toss right now taking place down at midfield. See what these teams will decide upon here. So we do have our coin toss going on right now at midfield.
Is anybody going to pick up the phone and the radio station? Is anybody going to answer? Just say we'll take a break and we'll just start the ball again.
And it looks like we are going to take a break here, experiencing some technical difficulties. We will be back.
A big 77-yard pass there from Declan Pittman to Paul Tran. And the Tigers already take a 6-0 lead here to start the game. Well, Paul Tran will be the holder, and the kick is up, and it's good. So it's 7-0 after 17 seconds. The Tigers score quickly, and they basically pick up from where they left off last week by scoring at will.
If we can see more plays like that, Ryan, I think we know how this ball game is going to turn out, because very early on here we have a comfortable 7-0 lead over the Sikeston Bulldogs. Only 17 seconds in, wide open was Paul Tran. He was able to convert, make that touchdown. Feeling good if you're a Cape Central Tigers football fan here at the stadium this evening.
Yeah, Pittman, one play to Paul Tran, one score, setting it up. I mean, he was wide open too, down the far sideline. He just basically caught it in stride and took it down to the end zone.
Charlton going to be set to kick this ball back now to the Bulldogs.
I'm Ryan Winkler alongside Chandler Jansen as the Tigers leading already 7-0 as Charleston will kick it away, and he's going to be brought down at the 20. He'll make it out to the 20 before they bring him down, so not a very big return there, but had it gone in the end zone, they would have gotten it there anyway, so he probably should have just let it bounce.
That's right. So they bring down Marcus Sanders Jr. Now we'll see what the Bulldogs can do on the very first possession of their drive.
Trying to get this open real quick. So they'll set up with a man in motion. They'll fake the jet sweep, and the defense is there right away to swallow it up in the backfield. And he will make it back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 2nd and 10 for the Bulldogs.
We've really seen this Cape Central Tigers defense come alive here in the last 2 weeks, Ryan. Shutting out both opponents, they have not allowed a single score to happen. And I think that really says something. They look to improve upon that and continue that success here this evening.
And they're going to try to run it up the middle, and he's going to gain 1 yard. So it'll make it 3rd and 9.
Go with a little run game. Not much working out. It's going to bring up a 3rd down now. 3rd and 10. Ball on their own 21.
And they'll gain a few yards there, get it up to about the 23, 24-yard line. It's a nice little gain of 3. That'll bring up 4th down, 4th and 8.
So 3 and out for the Bulldogs. Not much working offensively. This Tiger defense once again stepping up just like they have in the last 2 weeks.
So they'll set up to punt this one away. And he's going to punt it from about the 13. And it's going to be a short punt. It'll bounce back towards the Bulldog territory. So the Tigers are going to take over at the Bulldog 44-yard line. So great field position here once again for the Tigers. Although it really didn't matter in that first possession where they set up. They had just one play to get into the end zone.
And we'll see, Ryan, if the Bulldogs defense can step up, make a change here, or if not, it's going to be pretty one-sided, I believe, so far in this one.
We're going to go with 3 receivers to the left side here for the Tigers. Keyshawn Boyd in the backfield. Pittman takes the snap. He's going to hand it off to Boyd. Boyd's going to try to run around the outside. He'll get tripped up and brought down back at the 45. It'll be a loss of 1.
Boyd being our player of the game, week 1 for this Tigers offense. Last week we said Zaire Thomas as our player of the game. 2nd and 11. They're going to say he lost a yard.
$9:24 to go here in the first quarter. 2 backs in the backfield. He's going to fake the handoff. Pittman's going to keep it himself, and he'll turn upfield. He's going to run towards the far sideline to the 10, breaks the tackle into the end zone for the touchdown. So another big score for the Tigers already here in the first quarter with just 9 minutes and 11 seconds to go. It's 13-0. And we'll set up for the extra point.
What an impressive start here, Ryan. You can't ask for any better than that. Week number 3, lots to feel good about both offensively and defensively for this Tigers football team.
Yeah, Pittman with a 45-yard touchdown run as Charlton will kick it up and in for the score. And it's now 14-0. 9:11 to go in the first quarter. Not a whole lot of time there for the Tigers. That one took forever compared to the first play.
So with a 14-0 lead, we will tell you about Stone Mountain Flooring. Locally owned since 1993, Stone Mountain Flooring is your trusted source for all things flooring. Online at stonemountaincarpet.biz. So once again, Joey Charlton, he will be set to kick this one back to the Bulldogs after a big touchdown there from Declan Pittman.
So Charlton sets up at the 40 to kick this one away. And it's going to get caught at about the 5-6 yard line. He's going to bring it out, get to the 20, and he's going to get hit hard and brought down at the 20.5 yard line, I'd say.
Well, it was 3 and out for this offense last time they took the field. We'll see what they do now, trailing by 2 scores. Friday the 13th, Ryan, I was talking about that earlier. Seems like something crazy always happens on Friday the 13th, is
right
what they say.
So 14-0, 2 touchdowns in less than 3 minutes for the Tigers as they're going to fake the handoff, throw it across the middle. It's caught, and he'll get brought down at about the 28-29 yard line. That was Kendarius Love who made the reception. From the quarterback, Pierce Baker. And now we get a flag coming in, and it's going to be on the Bulldogs. It's a false start. So it went from 2nd and 2 to 2nd and 7. He'll hand it off, run around the outside. He'll get brought down. Looks like back to where that line of scrimmage was before the penalty.
So, yep, able to bring down Atkins there. It's going to bring up a 3rd down now. 3rd and 2.
And we get another flag, another false start on the Bulldogs. So they're just going to go right back to where they were, so they basically just lost a down. It's now 3rd and 7.
These penalties can be very costly, especially if you are an underdog in a game like this.
Yeah, they get a nice chunk of yards. Twice they've gotten a nice chunk of yards, and it's just been erased by penalties. 8:07 to go here in the first quarter as they set up with 3 receivers here to the left side, 1 to the right. And they're going to fake the handoff. He's going to step back to pass. Here comes the defense. He will throw. It's going to be tipped and caught, I believe, by one of his linemen. And he's going to be brought down, and a loss for, it looks like 3 back to the original line of scrimmage. Then it'll bring up 4th down. It should be 4th and 10 for the Bulldogs.
Late flag coming in here.
It's going to be illegal touching by the Bulldogs. And I believe that the Tigers will probably just decline that. Make it 4th and 10. Yeah, that's exactly what they're going to do. They're just going to decline it. 4th and 10 from the 21-yard line.
Yet another 3 and out for this Bulldogs football team here.
Yeah, weren't even able, bad snap, but he's able to grab it. Now he's going to have to try to run. He will run with it and then kick it away, as it's going to get about the 50, and it's going to get a Bulldog bounce and roll, and then be stopped and picked up at the 35-yard line. He almost got brought down well in the backfield to turn it over near the end zone, but he was able to avoid the defender and did the right thing. Made sure he had enough room to run and then punt it away.
Kind of able to make the best of a bad situation in that case. It looked like nothing was going to work for him, and he was finally able to get the ball away, kick it back. Took a nice roll as well, so it's going to pin the Tigers offense back now to their own 35. Got 6:59 left to play here in the first quarter. Tigers lead at 14-0.
The Tiger offense, who have gone 2 for 2. 2 touchdowns on 2 possessions. They're going to fake that pass. Nice little run by Thomas, and he's going to dive as he gets tripped up. Diving over that defender for a nice chunk of yards there from the 35 into Bulldog territory at the 47.
And just a reminder to everybody listening online, 95.7 FM and 1550 AM. Also streaming live, and you can watch us live on YouTube, Cape Central Sports. So we have a few different ways you can tune in, watch, and listen all season long.
The Tigers set up 2 receivers to the left side, fake the handoff. Pittman's going to run it, pitches off to Thomas, and it's going to roll out of bounds as he pitched it a little too far behind Zaire Thomas, but luckily it went out of bounds.
Go with a little trickery there. It didn't work out too well for him, but as you said, Ryan, luckily it just went right out of bounds, and they didn't have to deal with possibly having some kind of penalty on that one.
They gained 8 yards out of that. It's 2nd and 2. So, in a way, that's the best play of the drive so far, other than that run by Thomas. Pittman will hand it off as Thomas will run it up the middle, get enough for the first down, and past the 35 down to the 32-yard line, 31-yard line. Nice gain of 8.
Let me tell you about Rosati's Pizza. Whether it's for a quick lunch or you're bringing the whole family, Rosati's is the go-to when it comes to all your pizza needs. Rosati's, feeding the people since 1964.
Just over 6 minutes to go here in the first quarter. And we get a whistle. And it's a water break. So we're going to go ahead and we'll step aside. We'll be back in 1 minute. You're listening to Cape Central Tiger Football on Cape Radio 95.7 FM News Talk. 5:53 left here in the first quarter. Another handoff, running it up the middle and getting it past the 25-yard line down to the 24. Was the Tiger offense. As Keyshawn Boyd was the ball carrier that time. Fake the handoff, throw into the end zone again, just a little too far out in front of Paul Tran.
That one probably could have gone for a touchdown, Ryan. Just a little bit overthrown there from Pittman. So 3rd and 3 is what they are now faced with 5:13 left to play here in the first quarter.
So 5:13. Put a man in motion who just takes a couple steps. That's Jathan Spain, who's basically going to be the blocker for Boyd, who's going to drag a man with him down past the 15-yard line. And it's a big first down for the Tigers as Keyshawn Boyd gets it down to the 13-yard line. So under 5 to go here in the first quarter. .440 now with Boyd in the backfield. 2 receivers to the left. They're going to fake it to Boyd. Throw across over to Thomas. He's going to run up the left side into the end zone for a touchdown. He put a little juke move there on the defender on the far sideline and gets it into the end zone. And he makes it 20-0 here for the Tigers on a little bit 13-yard passing play.
So Zaire Thomas, that will be his first touchdown of the evening, putting his team up now 20-0 over the Sikeston Bulldogs.
$20-0 here in the first quarter as the kick is up and it is good. It's now 21-0 as Joey Charlton kicks it through the uprights. And the Tigers actually 1 score away now from tying their first half points from the first week and the second week.
That's right. We were talking about that earlier, Ryan. The score was 28-0, both week 1 and week 2 at halftime. So hoping maybe for better results, honestly. As far as the way this game's gone so far, I would not be surprised if they have significantly more than 28 by the time we go to half here.
I know there are a few people around here at the stadium that would like to see that clock start as soon as the second half starts. And at this point, if the Tigers can keep this up, it will.
That's what's going to happen.
Definitely start in the second half. As they continue to pour it on here in the first quarter, it's 21-0. As Joey Charlton will line up here to kick it away. And that's a deep kick, caught at about the 5. Charlton, I think he's keeping it a little bit off of the kicks here today because they're not going into the end zone. He's going to make them bring it out as they do get that one to the 22-yard line. So the Bulldogs will take over there for their next offensive possession.
And I was talking about it earlier to you. I love the way those uniforms look this evening. Orange is my favorite color. I've said it before, and I might have gone to Jackson. Hey, I did go to Jackson, but I will just say I love the color orange, and I love the way those uniforms look this evening.
Yeah, they got the orange jerseys with the orange pants tonight.
All orange. Can't go wrong.
And then Chandler, you and I, we wore black. We didn't get the memo. Quick handoff, and they're trying to run it up the middle, and it's going to get nowhere except back to the line of scrimmage. So no yards gained. It'll be 2nd and 10 with 4:06 to go here in the first quarter.
So sponsoring the broadcast booth all season long here is Reynolds Roofing, Exteriors, and Coatings. Call Reynolds Roofing, Exteriors, and Coatings for all of your roofing needs. The #1 roofer in Southeast Missouri, roofingbyreynoldsmo.com.
A quick handoff, and he's going to run it up the middle, get to the 25, 26. Looks like he's brought down at the 27. So a gain of 5 makes it 3rd and 5.
And you can tell the weather's getting a little bit cooler. So hot week 1 up here from the press box. Last week we were on the road, and then tonight you can just tell it feels nice and cool for a change as we're getting closer and closer to the official start of fall.
And last week it started out warmer, and then it did cool off as the game went. Quick pass is caught for a first down for the Bulldogs. So they'll get themselves their first down here in the first quarter. First down of the game here in the first quarter.
And maybe that'll ignite a little spark in this Bulldogs offense as they're finally able to get something rolling, finally able to move these chains with 2:45 left to play in the first quarter.
21-0. As he's going to fake the handoff, and he gets hit as he throws, and it's incomplete. That was a big hit there as the defense just basically made the right blocks, and he came running through to make that tackle. A big hit there for Jonathan Williams.
So he's able to bring down Baker. It's going to be a 2nd and 10 now with 2:29 left to play in the first quarter.
2:29, yeah. 2nd and 10, which is better than what it could have been had Baker not been able to get rid of that football. And they're going to hand it off, try to run it up the middle. Oh, he's going to break a couple tackles and get to the 40 before he's brought down. So it'll be 3rd and 5, a gain of 5 there for the Bulldogs. 2:10 left here in the first quarter.
So Gavin Pittman on the tackle, bringing his running back down. 3rd and 5. 5 yards to go.
And they're going to fake the handoff. Here comes the defense, and it's tipped and incomplete. Thought maybe could have gotten an interception there off of that one, but they were able to. I don't know if the Tiger defense was able to knock it away. I think the Bulldogs were able to keep the Tigers from catching it after the tip. And so 4th and 5 as the Tigers will get set to receive the punt here with 1:48.
Defense standing very strong. Looking very good once again this evening, just as they did the last 2 weeks. Lots to be happy about if you're Coach Kent Gibbs.
And, that one was almost blocked. That's going to end up bouncing out of bounds. Actually, it didn't even bounce out of bounds. It just landed out of bounds. And they're going to mark it at the 35. So 1:43 left here in the first quarter. And 1st and 10 from their own 35-yard line as the Tigers look to score another touchdown here before the end of the first quarter, trying to get 4 scores in 1 quarter.
Well, we've seen 3 possessions, all 3 of which have resulted in a score, and we'll see what they can do now on their 4th possession as they come out with a 1st and 10.
Pittman will put Spain in motion. They've got 3 guys over to the left side. They're going to hand it off to Boyd. Boyd's going to run around the outside. Up the left side, breaks a tackle. A stiff arm one man, and then he's going to just fall to the turf to trip up Boyd to keep him from getting into the end zone as he gets it across to the 39-yard line in Bulldog territory.
And what a run from Keyshawn Boyd. We are very used to calling his name here in the press box every week, and tonight's no exception.
Nice 26-yard gain there by Keyshawn Boyd, as they set up with two receivers on the right side, and they're going to hand it off to Boyd. He's going to stutter step, and then the hole that was there collapses, but he'll gain, looks like 2. Yep, 2nd and 8.
So they go back to Boyd once again, this time not as well. The results only a gain of 2, 2nd and 8.
Down to, Chandler.
Ball on the 37.
Under a minute to go, 50 seconds. As Paul Tran, the lone receiver, and he's going to fake the handoff, throwing to Tran again, and it's just a little out in front as he did get a hand on it, wasn't able to pull it in, and that'll bring up 3rd and 8. The Tigers going for the home run ball there, trying to get a touchdown in here quickly with 39 seconds left here in the first quarter.
So Tigers being faced with a 3rd and 8 here, and you're at a spot where you're not going to be able to kick a field goal if you don't make it.
3rd and 8. Two receiver to the right, one to the left, actually, and they're going to put Thomas in motion, and Pittman's going to keep it himself, running it up the middle. He's got enough for a first down. I don't think they even know that he had the ball, as he will finally get brought down, and a flag will come in as he's brought down just shy of the 10-yard line. It's a big first down, and we'll see what the penalty call is here. It looks like a helmet-to-helmet on the Bulldogs. So that's going to push the ball even further towards the end zone. See where they put it now, and they put it at the 7-yard line. So a big run from Gavin Pittman. And they now have the ball at the 7-yard line. Put a man in motion. Boyd in the backfield, two receivers over to the left. And they're going to hand it off to Boyd. He's just going to run it right up the middle. Trucks that defender as he gets into the end zone for another touchdown. And it's now 27-0 here with 9 seconds to go in the first quarter. Yeah, I said first quarter. 4 possessions, Chandler, 4 touchdowns.
And you got to keep in mind all 4 touchdowns have featured different Tiger players. First
That's
one
right.
being from Paul Tran. Second one from Declan Pittman. Last one from Zaire Thomas, and this one from Boyd.
And the kick is up, and it's good. So 28-0 here in the first quarter, and 9 seconds remaining in the first quarter. So almost didn't get that deadline, if you want to call it that.
So we will go ahead and tell you about one of our sponsors here this evening, Strickland Engineering. Civil, structural, and surveying, Strickland Engineering has you covered. For more information at stricklandengineering.com. Proud sponsors of Cape Central Athletics all season here. Cape Radio 95.7 FM, 1550 AM. You can also follow along, watch, and listen to us on YouTube at Cape Central Sports. We'd be happy to have you along with us. 28-0 is your score with 9 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Tigers lead the Sikeston Bulldogs on Week 3 high school football.
So this one actually gets into the end zone. And the first time that Charlton has kicked it into the end zone and not made the Bulldogs try to run it out. They'll get it at the 20-yard line. That actually almost worked a little bit better for the Bulldogs when they had to try to run it out on their own, because they actually got a little bit further out.
That's exactly right.
So they may actually be upset that it was kicked into the end zone this time. And he's going to take the snap, try to run it himself, and he'll get brought down at the 20-yard line. And that will do it for the first quarter, so we will flip sides, and we'll be back in a minute. You're listening to Cape Central Tiger football on Cape Radio 95.7 FM News Talk. Back here at Cape Central High School, I'm Ryan Winkler alongside Chandler Jansen. And Chandler, the Tigers taking on the Bulldogs. It's the battle for I-55 here this evening, as the teams do have a trophy that they battle for here in this game. There's a quick snap, and it's going to be picked off. Going the other way, he'll be brought down. That is Gavin Pittman with the interception. So Declan Pittman, the quarterback, Gavin Pittman on defense, taking it away and setting it up 7 seconds into the second quarter, setting it up for the Tigers to try to score another one.
Well, we've already seen him with 1 sack on the evening. There's a big interception. Going to set the Tigers up now in great field position to once again score, which would put them up by over 30 points in this one. Scores right now is 28-0. 11:53 as we play right before the half. So we still got a good ways to go. That's right. First half, second quarter. And we got a lot of football left to play in this one. Tigers are dominating. 28-0 is your score.
I think we're having problems with the play clock here again tonight. We had the problems in the first game, week 1 here at home. And there we go. It's back on. And they're going to give it off to Boyd. He's going to run up the middle and cut back to the outside into the end zone for the touchdown. The flag did come in, so we'll see what the penalty is before we add any points, because I think it might be coming back.
Yeah, ref's going to take a moment to talk this one over.
And it is against the Tigers. It's holding, which I figured that was going to be the call. So that'll push it back to the 20-yard line. Nope, 21-yard line.
Would have been a nice touchdown there from Boyd. But after that holding call, it's going to push them back now to the 21.
So, Chandler, this is the 5th possession, offensive possession for the Tigers. They've got 4 touchdowns in 4 possessions.
Hey, yeah, we're 4 for 4 right now, so let's make it 5 for 5. I have pretty good confidence we will here.
77-yard pass from Declan Pittman to Paul Tran. That set up that first touchdown.
Yeah.
Actually, that was the first touchdown. And then we had a run from Pittman that got into the end zone from about 15 or so yards out. That one's handed off to Boyd. He's going to cut through the middle, get into the end zone again, and this time it's going to stand. No flags on the field. And the Tigers are up 34-0.
So they call the holding, bring the touchdown back, but then it turns out Boyd, he's going to bring it right back into the end zone to put him up 6 more, 34-0 is your score here, and we are not even 11 minutes to go before half.
So that's Boyd's second touchdown now of the evening. Thomas had a rushing touchdown, and then Boyd had one, and now he's got another one again. As the kick is up, and it's good. So 35-0 with 11:48 to go in the second quarter. We've got that running clock guaranteed right now, as long as the Sikeston Bulldogs don't put up any points. Something tells me that the Tigers aren't done putting up points either.
Yeah, I have a feeling they could score quite a bit more this evening if they wanted to. So, Reynolds Roofing Exteriors and Coatings. We will tell you about them, proud sponsors of the broadcast booth here all season long. The #1 roofer in Southeast Missouri, Reynolds Roofing Exteriors and Coatings. You can find them online, roofingbyreynoldsmo.com. It is 35-0, your score here with 11:48 to play before we even hit the half. Cape Tigers all over Sikeston Bulldogs.
Not even a minute into the not even a minute into the second quarter. As that one is kicked deep, it'll be caught at about the 5-yard line. I thought they were going to run into each other and end up losing the football, but looks like we're going to get out to the 21-yard line. I think that was Atkins that made the catch for the Bulldogs and then brought it out. Keen Atkins.
So the Bulldogs have not had much success so far. Just had an interception there, which resulted in another Tigers touchdown. It'll be interesting to see what they do now. 1st and 10, ball on their own 20. We have 11:42 left to play in the second quarter.
We'll set up in the shotgun, and they get the defense to jump on a hard count. So that'll move the Bulldogs 5 yards forward. So it'll be 1st and 5. The offsides on the Tigers. Quick snap, fake handoff, throw, caught it about the 30. And he's going to get wrapped up. He's got nowhere to go. He's going to be marked down at the 30-yard line. But it looks like on the well, they're going to say he got the first down anyway. So they're going to go ahead and move the chains. I'm surprised they didn't. I mean, just from looking at it up here,
yeah,
it's definitely. I mean, it looks like he got the first down anyway, but I'm kind of surprised they didn't measure it just to make sure. But also, it's 35-0. And a man in motion, they're going to hand it off, running it up the right side. He's going to run it straight up the middle. He's got a big run down to the 30, to the 25, and he's finally pushed down and out of bounds at about the 22-23-yard line. As that is, I believe that's Sam McGill. See if he turns around so I can see. No, that's number 2. That's Kenneth Holcomb. So Kenneth Holcomb with a big run, getting it into Tiger territory.
Big offensive play here for this Bulldogs offense. Maybe that's something to get a little momentum going as they find themselves in a very, very big deficit here, Ryan. 35-0 is your score.
And they're going to end up losing yards on that one. Thanks to Sean Shelton for the Tigers. As it's now back to the 25-yard line, so it's going to be 2nd and 12. Gonna fake the handoff throw, and that's too far out in front of his receivers. He was cutting back towards the sideline. And then it ends up, I think it went off one of his other receivers who wasn't really playing for the football. So 3rd and 12.
They're in better field position than they've been in.
This is the best field position that the Bulldogs have had all night. As a quick pass, and that's going to be well overthrown as his receiver, I don't know if that was maybe the play he was looking for before. He looked like he was throwing to him for him to cut back again, and he didn't. And that'll bring up 4th and 12.
So what do you do here on 4th down, Ryan? It's one of those things. You probably aren't going to kick a field goal.
Oh, we're actually going to take a timeout and talk about it. Sikeston takes a timeout, so we'll go ahead and take it with him. We'll be back in 30 seconds. Back here at Cape Central High School, I'm Ryan Winkler alongside Chandler Jansen as the Tigers up 35-0 here in the second quarter with 10:04 to go. We're going to go for a field goal here, Chandler. As the kick is up, and it's good. He got it. 42-yard field goal is good for the Bulldogs, and that is the first points that the Tigers have given up on defense, and it comes by the Sikeston Bulldog kicker.
Well, I just got done saying I don't think we're going to see them kick a field goal. They take the timeout, they talk it over, they decide they do want to kick a field goal, and it turns out their kicker is good enough. He can make it. 35-3 is your score. We've got 9:59 left to play before we hit the half. So
Mauricio Batista.
How about that?
They got him listed as a sophomore.
I was going to ask what grade.
It looks like he's the only kicker on the roster. So
they put the faith in the kicker. He's able to do it, put some points on the board for the Bulldogs.
Yeah, Batista getting himself a 42-yard field goal.
How about that?
And now no matter what, he can be the one to say he's the first player to put points up against the Cape Central Tigers 2024 football team. 2 straight shutouts and now a field goal given up here in the second quarter. And I bet you this kick is going to be a pretty deep kick, Chandler. I bet that adrenaline is pumping after making a kick like that. As it is going to end up back. Oh, it did end up hitting the into the end zone. Barely, but they did get it in there as he calls a touchback.
That was barely a touchback.
Yeah, barely a touchback.
Just barely.
So 9:59 to go here in the first half. It's 35-3 as the Tigers will now have to put up another touchdown or kick a field goal to make sure that clock starts running in the second half.
So we've been 5 for 5 so far on the night, Ryan. This is their 6th possession now. We will see what they do as the offense comes back out onto the field. 1st and 10, ball on their own 20.
A little bit of a low snap, but Pittman will pick it up. Nice little throw. Running up the far sideline. He got one man to miss. He's able to he hurdled that defender. It almost looked like he went for his legs, and he hurdled over the defender. That is, where did he go? I had it. I lost my roster. Do you have it? Deshaun Sims. So Sims with a nice 23-yard reception. And they're going to hand it off. I'm sorry, no, Pittman's going to keep it himself and run it up the middle. And he's going to get it across the 50 down to the 48-yard line.
Didn't know if they'd give him the first down on that one or not.
Well, they're going to mark him.
I think they're going to say short.
A yard short, yeah.
It'll be 2nd and 1. But they are now into Bulldog territory. Ball on the 48. Just under 9 minutes left to play here before we hit the half.
Got a receiver on the left, 2 to the right. He's going to fake the handoff, throw across the middle. It's caught at about the 30-yard line. He'll get down to the 25. Let's see where they actually mark him down. Mark him down at the 24.
Zaire Thomas on the reception.
We got a whistle. And we're going to switch out the football because it did rain earlier today. It rained pretty hard at one point. Actually, it rained pretty hard, 2 hours ago?
Just seen some lightning.
Oh, Chandler, keep it quiet. If we do see lightning, we'll have to take a break and stop the game for, I believe it's at least 30 minutes. And a quick snap, handoff, and Boyd's going to run it up the left side and into the end zone for another touchdown. And the Tigers get those 3 points back along with a few more. And it's now 41-3.
So that is 6 touchdowns on the evening for the Tigers. It is Boyd's 3rd straight touchdown. How about that?
6 for 6, Chandler. 6 drives, 6 touchdowns.
Now we'll see if Joey Charlton can tack on this extra point, make it 42-3.
And we get a flag as there was some movement there by the Bulldogs. They're going to add it onto the, I don't know if they just declined. I think they're going to tack it onto the kickoff. So Charlton will step back to kick this one away for the extra point. And the Bulldogs may have gotten through quickly again, but it doesn't matter as Charlton will make the extra point and make it 42-3 with 8:24 to go here in the first half. And Chandler, it's not getting any prettier. That's for sure.
Well, it's definitely not getting any prettier if you're a Sikeston Bulldogs fan, but I think if you're a Tigers fan, you have a lot to be happy about. You've got 6 drives, 6 possessions. Every single one of them have resulted in a touchdown, and just everything firing on all cylinders, really, for this Cape Central Tigers offense, and defensively, too, as they've only allowed 3 points so far in this game. It's 42-3. I'm Chandler Jansen alongside Ryan Winkler. And we want to tell you about Stone Mountain Flooring, locally owned since 1993. Stone Mountain Flooring is your trusted source for all things flooring. Online at stonemountaincarpet.biz.
And they're just going to let that one, there you go. It bounced into the end zone eventually. I was going to say, they're going to let that one fly into the end zone, and then it hit at about the 1-2 yard line. And had to wait for that to finish going into the end zone. It almost looked like it wouldn't. So the Bulldogs will get it at their own 20-yard line.
Tiger defense will come back out onto the field here. They've been very successful so far, only allowing 3 points, which was seen in the last drive. That last run there specifically from the Bulldogs set them up nicely to kick that field goal, a 42-yard field goal for that matter. And something I said right before we went to break, I didn't think they'd do it. We don't typically see a lot of kicks from that range. But they had faith in him, and it worked out well.
And they're going to hand it off, running around the outside. And he's actually going to get brought down at the line of scrimmage. Not sure if he stepped out of bounds or if they actually... No, they brought him down inbounds. The clock continues to run. We're under 8 minutes to go. That was a... When you look at it and see that they gained no yards, it's actually seemed like a long play for no gain. And they're going to hand that one off again. He's going to run it up the middle. And this time he will gain, looks like 1 or 2. We'll see where they actually mark the ball. Right now they're going to mark at the 22, I believe. So that'll be 3rd and 8.
So Zeke Hall coming in, making the tackle for the Tigers there. It's going to be a 3rd and 8.
Just over 7 minutes to play here in the first half. Play clock down to 7 as they look over to the sideline. And I think we're just going to take a timeout. Yep, the Bulldogs will take a timeout as the play clock was down to 1.
So as they run out of time, we will tell you about Stone Mountain Flooring, proud sponsors of Cape Central Tigers football. Every single game, they bring it to you. Locally owned since 1993. Stone Mountain Flooring, your trusted source for all things flooring, online at stonemountaincarpet.biz. And typically we would be updating you on a Jackson score this evening. However, their game got canceled, moved, and postponed until tomorrow. So that game will be taking place tomorrow instead of this evening. Jackson schools had to, unfortunately, cancel.
So there were a lot of, not just in this area, but across the country, there were threats made for violence at the schools, and some schools did decide to cancel for the day, keep their kids at home. Some schools did go to school, but they did have a bigger police presence, and some schools do have, officers on the school grounds as the flag comes in and the pass is incomplete. And we'll see what the penalty will be and who it will be against. So Jackson was one of those schools that took the day off, that canceled class, and they talked to Edwardsville, and they decided to not only move the game to tomorrow, but also they're going to be moving the game to Edwardsville. And I'm not sure if that, I think that may have more to do with Edwardsville traveling arrangements than anything. They may have maybe had to try to get some charter buses for today, and then since they decided to move the game, maybe they couldn't get them for tomorrow.
Which also means, Jackson, they're starting all 3 of their games on the road this season.
Yep. Yeah, because there was originally a home game, supposed to be a home game, as they played at Edwardsville last year.
Yeah, so they still haven't played at home yet.
And they're playing tomorrow night as well, not during the day or the afternoon like some would think on a Saturday. It's a low snap, and that punt is going to bounce and take a Bulldog roll into Tiger territory, and it'll be picked up at the 46-yard line. It was a low snap, almost a bad snap, but he was able to pick it up and get that punt away before the Tiger defense got in to block that one. That was an awfully close play there.
It really was, and we've got 6:35 left to play here before the half. So far, 6 for 6 on our drives. If you're looking at the Cape Central offense so far, 3 of those 6 from none other than Keyshawn Boyd. Fantastic running back. They'll take over now from their own 46-yard line.
A nice play there by the Tiger offense. They get another first down all the way down into Bulldog territory to the 40-yard line.
Move those chains and set them up here again to hopefully go down and, why not, score another touchdown before the half.
Yeah, exactly. They've got plenty of time, 6:28 to go. As for the most part, the Tiger offense, each time they do gain yards, it's either to the end zone or enough for a first down. They really don't have too many short gains, as Boyd's going to run that one up the middle, and he'll get enough for a first down, and he's brought down just shy of the 25-yard line. Looks about the 27.
Bulldogs really just not finding a way to stop this run game. Zaire Thomas, Keyshawn Boyd, there are 2 weapons in the backfield, and really they are not able to stop either one of them. Quite frankly, that's why the game's gone the way it has so far.
6 minutes, and there's the whistle for the water break. We'll take it with him. We'll be back in a minute. You're listening to Cape Central Tiger football on Cape Radio 95.7 FM News Talk. Six minutes left here in the first half as the Tigers lead 42-3. As they come out with 2 receivers, they'll put Thomas in motion. And they're going to hand it off, and he will slip on the turf. That was not Keyshawn Boyd this time. That was. Let me try to grab the roster here real quick. That was Kenny Lewis. No, that was Torrance Murray, sorry. So they do have some other guys now out on offense. As they are up 42-3. So Pittman still at quarterback. He's going to keep it, and he'll pitch it over to Murray, and Murray will get to a short gain past the 25 down to the 21. 22-yard line. So it'll be 3rd and 5.
We got just under 5 minutes left to play here before halftime. 42-3. That is your score. Week number 3 of high school football. I'm Chandler Jansen alongside Ryan Winkler.
2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And he's going to step back to pass. Little quick throw is caught right at the sideline. Nice catch over there on the far sideline by Jathan Spain. And that's a first down for the Tigers. With 4:27 to go in the first half.
And you really couldn't ask for anything better right now, Ryan. You're using your time management, the clock management very well. You're taking time off this clock. You're not in a big hurry because you've got such a comfortable lead. 42-3 is the score, and they're able to move the chains once again, converting on a first down, 1st and 10. Ball in the Bulldog 16.
And we're just up past the 8 o'clock hour. It's 8:01, and a handoff running around the outside down the far sideline. He's going to slip through the defense somehow and get into the end zone. What a run.
Wow.
And that'll be another Tiger touchdown. It makes it 48-3 with 3:59 to go here in the second quarter. That is Torrance Murray. Let me see. Nope. That is Kenny. What did I say his last name was earlier? Lewis. That's Kenny Lewis. He's just a sophomore as the kick is up. And it is good. And it's now 49-3 with 3:59 to go in the first half.
So how about that, Ryan? We have 7 touchdowns.
7 possessions.
7 possessions, thank you. 7 possessions, 7 touchdowns. It doesn't get any better than that.
No, you were right, Chandler. It's just, that's crazy to not just score on each possession, but to get a touchdown. On each possession.
Yes. This offense cannot be stopped right now. And the defense, really much of the same. Everything just seems to be clicking on all cylinders, both for this Cape Central offense and the defense. And lots of different players getting involved this evening, too, on both sides of the ball. That's what we like to see.
Just under 4 minutes to go before we hit halftime. And the Tigers, after 2 weeks of being up 28-0 at halftime, it'll be a much different score here as the Bulldog, well, the flag comes in there at the end. And I'm wondering if it's going to maybe be maybe a helmet-to-helmet. I don't know. Let's see. No, it's holding on the Bulldogs. That's a strange. Oh, man, there was some lightning back there in the background. That was a nice flash there. Thankfully, I don't think the referee saw it. But at the same time, it looks like it's getting closer.
Well, I'd seen some lightning here not too long ago. It's kind of more from the other direction, but
yeah, that one came back behind the radio station over there.
Okay.
As that, before that happened, I was going to say that was a late penalty flag that came in for a hold. That's why I was surprised that they were calling that one a holding penalty.
It's going to push them back here quite a bit.
You check the radar, it doesn't look like it's going to be, I mean, the strong stuff is more north of us. As that's going to be a tackle for a loss. I'm not sure.
So how about that? Cortez Hopkins for the Tigers defense, stepping up there with the big tackle. 2nd and 11.
And they don't give the sacks as much leeway as they, I don't know, not necessarily leeway. They're not as big as they used to be. They don't give them all those yards anymore. They try to, from where I guess the first contact was made, it seems to be where they place the football. They're going to hand that one off. He's going to run it up the middle, and he gets stopped and pushed backwards. And he will get across the original line of scrimmage. It's going to be 3rd and 8, it looks like.
So Kenneth Holcomb for the Bulldogs on the carry. He'll gain about 3, we'll say. 3rd and 8 now from their own 13.
The Bulldog offense looks like we're going to go 2 receivers on each side and 1 tailback. And he's going to step back to pass. He's going to throw across. It's caught for the first down. He spins, breaks 1 tackle, but then he's going to be brought down at the 25-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Bulldogs.
So how about that? Making the conversion, Luke Gadberry, receiver for the Sikeston Bulldogs, moving the chains, and that's the second first down this offense has picked up throughout the entire game.
Luke Gadberry was actually, I believe, the quarterback last year when these two teams faced off down in Sikeston.
I do remember the name.
He was filling in as quarterback. He didn't lose his starting job. He was filling in as quarterback due to injury. And that's a short pass that's going to turn into a nice little gain there of, looks like 3. As that one was caught back behind the line of scrimmage, and now we've got a player down for the Bulldogs.
And that is Keen Atkin, the one who had the reception there. A little bit shaken up.
We've got the trainer from Cape Central heading out there, Ricky. And he stands up, but he definitely cannot put any weight on that foot, it looks like. As he stood up and looked like maybe limped a little and then went ahead and crouched. Bent over, trying to put some weight. He is going to walk on his own. Looks like slowly able to put more weight on that ankle, on that foot with each step that he takes. But he definitely has a noticeable limp to his walk. It's going to be 2nd and 7 here. It's 1:44 to go in the first half. I'm Ryan Winkler alongside Chandler Jansen here in the Reynolds Roofing broadcast booth. For all your roofing needs, call Reynolds Roofing Exteriors and Coating, the #1 roofer in Southeast Missouri. Roofing by ReynoldsMo.com. A nice little handoff, and he's going to end up maybe losing a yard, and I'm not sure if he got back to the line of scrimmage. Looking from over here, it looks like he did not.
We'll see where they spot it.
It looks like they're going to spot it back on that line of scrimmage.
Yeah.
So no gain, but no loss. 3rd and 7.
So time keeps on ticking here. We're just approaching a minute to go before we hit the half.
Three receivers to the left, one to the right. He's going to step back to pass. He's going to try to throw to the right. He does make the completion, and he'll get brought down across the 30 to the 31. It'll bring up 4th down.
So Holcomb makes the reception, but it's not going to be good enough for a first down. They're going to have to punt this one back.
4th and 3 with 30 seconds. They may be able to. No.
There's just enough time separating the play and game clock here.
They are going to have to kick it, or they're going to have to at least run a play. And that doesn't look like they're going to kick it. But, yeah, like you said, the play clock started before it got to the game clock, equaling the time, and they're going to have to run a play. And I think they're going to try to get him to jump, and now we're going to get a timeout from Sikeston as the play clock hit 1 with 3 seconds left on the game clock. So about a 2-second difference there. And Sikeston tried to get him to jump, trying to get the Tigers to jump to get a first down, but couldn't get it to happen, and they will call a timeout.
So, yeah, about to hit the half here, Ryan, and, of course, as we do every week, we're going to probably talk a little bit of college football, maybe talk a little NFL, a little fantasy, see how our teams are doing, everything like that. You are, of course, both in the same fantasy league. We've been discussing that, so we'll take a look, see how the teams have been doing, look at some of the matchups that we got, and compare everything that's going to be going on in the world of football this weekend. I want to thank everybody for tuning in as well over on YouTube, Cape Central Sports. You can live stream, watch, and listen, follow along all season. Also, Cape Radio 95.7 FM, 1550 AM. So instead of kicking off here, they're going to just...
They're just going to go ahead and
give a little handoff to Holcomb, and time will expire. It is halftime. 49-3 is your score. And we will be right back after this. You are listening to Cape Radio FM 95.7 and 1550 AM News Talk. We'll be back.
Back in about 3 minutes. Back here at Cape Central High School, halftime between the Cape Central Tigers and the Sikeston Bulldogs. As I'm Ryan Winkler alongside Chandler Jansen. And at Chandler, it's been all Tigers all night.
All Tigers all night. You got that right. And we can't ask for anything better, really, offensively or defensively for that matter. Keyshawn Boyd with 3 of the 7 touchdowns. And we also look at Zaire Thomas. He's got 1 on the night. Declan Pittman with 1 as well, and quarterback keeper. And Paul Tran, he's the one who started off this offensive explosion this evening. He's the one who took it 52 yards for that very first touchdown. And ever since then, they have just been clicking. Everything's been working so well for this offense, and defensively too. They've only allowed 3 points, which really does say something as well.
The first points of the season given up here in this one in the second quarter. Nice field goal there by the Bulldogs as Mauricio Batista, a sophomore, got the field goal to go through the uprights. It wasn't a little chip shot either. It was about a 40-some yard field goal. I can't remember where exactly he kicked it but it was definitely a 40-plus yard field goal.
It was, yeah, and I had said it right before we had taken the timeout, and I said I really don't think that he's going to kick a field goal here, just given the field position, and you don't typically see them. A lot of times in high school, it's just not something you see a lot. You don't see kicks from that kind of distance. But the Bulldogs, it turns out they were very confident. They had faith in their kicker, and it all worked out well for them because they were able to come up with those 3 points.
Yeah, the battle for I-55 is what they have come to call this one between Sikeston and Cape Central for the football game. And it looks like the Tigers are going to come away with a 3rd straight win here and keep the trophy.
Yeah, I don't foresee anything changing the outcome of this one, as it is 49-3. That is your score here at the half.
And even if the Bulldogs can start to kind of come back, I feel like Coach Gibbs would put those starters back in, and then I feel like the Tigers would just start to pull away again. As this will be probably our first good look at some of the second-string players. They'll probably play a lot of this second half.
I would think so.
As the clock will run continuously once we start the second half.
So what are some college games that we have going on tomorrow? Anything jumping out? Any big games? I'm pretty sure Alabama and Wisconsin will play tomorrow.
Arizona and Kansas State are playing right now.
That's right, yes. So
Kansas State's winning 14-7.
Okay. And both of those teams are ranked, aren't they?
Yeah. I just lost it.
Kansas State's 14.
There you go.
Arizona is 20.
Yeah.
And I'm looking at some of these picks here. We always talk about it. Florida State, they've lost their last 2, which really is their first 2 of the season. They're 0-2 right now. And Memphis, they're taking on a 2-0 Memphis team tomorrow. In my pick 'em, I'm going to go ahead and pick Memphis.
I'm going to pick Memphis.
Why not? Why not? And then you got Texas A&M and Florida. That's another SEC matchup tomorrow.
Pick Texas A&M for that one, probably.
Yeah, I have Texas A&M as well. Home game for Florida, though, keep in mind. And then I said I'm most confident in LSU over South Carolina. I kind of struggled with which one I'd go with the most confidence on, but I went ahead and picked that one. So a little ESPN pick 'em.
Missouri plays Boston College. So Missouri's ranked 6th. Boston College is 24, so that should actually be a pretty good game.
Boston College.
Both Boston College and Mizzou are 2-0, so it'll be a test for Boston College, that's for sure.
And they're not typically a team that you see ranked very often.
Not very often,
No.
yeah. It's been a while. I'd say it's been since the days of Matt Ryan, which Matt Ryan just retired from playing in the NFL.
Yes.
Just after last year. So it's been quite a while since Oregon and Oregon State, they'll play tomorrow, which used to be a big deal, but now not in the same conference anymore. Now it's just a regular in-state rivalry that doesn't have any real bragging rights come standings time.
Now that Oregon's no longer in the Pac-12. But, hey, speaking of that.
That's right, yeah.
Did you see, maybe you saw it, there's going to be some additions to the Pac-12. You got Boise State coming in, Colorado State, San Diego State, and Fresno State. So all the states, they're coming into the Pac-12 starting, I believe it's in the 2026 season, so not next year,
Yeah.
but I believe the season after that is how I understand this to be. Pac-12 will get some expansion because right now they only have 2 teams, Oregon State and Washington State.
The Pac-2.
Yeah, the Pac-2. They went from the Pac-12 to the Pac-2. All the teams started leaving, and a lot of them now in the Big Ten, a few of them even in the ACC. So lots of conference realignment. You and I have talked about it. Not really a fan. I don't think it regionally makes any sense, but hey, we're not the ones making the decisions on stuff like that.
I'm actually reading a book about SEC football and like how it formed and what it's grown to today, and it's weird to read about how some of these teams were in the SEC when it first started. Like Georgia Tech was an SEC team to begin with, and you've got some schools that were in the conference to start that no longer have football just anyway. They don't play football anymore. Yeah. So that was the whole thing. They actually broke away. The SEC actually broke away from a conference to form their own.
Yeah.
Because they wanted to be more regional, and now it doesn't even matter anymore.
Exactly. Now you mentioned Georgia Tech, and it got me thinking about 1916. Maybe you've seen this for all the college football fans out there. That's when Georgia Tech defeated Cumberland. The final score was 222 to nothing.
Yeah. Look at those look at those scores in the quarter. 63, 63, 54, 42.
And altogether it's
63 points twice in the first and second quarter.
Man.
That's crazy.
So that is the most lopsided score in college football history, and it took place 108 years ago.
And I believe that was the last time Cumberland may have had a football team.
They just had to retire and quit after that.
That's right. They said, yeah, I don't think this is going to work. So trying to find it here for you. One of these teams that started in the conference was Sewanee. It was the University of the South, Sewanee.
I see that.
They were one of the original members, and they're now a member of the Southern Athletic Association. Then you had Georgia Tech. You had Tulane, who was in there. They were one of the founding universities too for SEC in New Orleans, and they're one of the reasons why they had the bowl game played in New Orleans, because Tulane had such a big crowd going to their games. I'm trying to remember how money they averaged, because I just read that part in that book, but they eventually added more seats to their stadium for the bowl game to get to 70,000, which nowadays 70,000 is nothing when you consider some of the stadiums that they have.
Oh, yeah.
But they had added seats to make 70,000, and I think they ended up with 73 attending that game. So that was one of the reasons why football got that bowl game in New Orleans. Of course, now they play it in I don't even know what it's called now anymore. It's not the Mercedes-Benz. It's not the Superdome.
We were just talking about this in one of my classes the other day. I don't remember either what it's right now. But we were talking about it because the New Orleans Saints, and we were doing this little project. Well, you might be familiar with it. You went through the program too.
Yeah.
Where we all have to pick a team to manage.
Oh, yeah, that was the best. I loved that class.
Yes.
That class is great.
Lots of fun.
Yeah.
Shout out to sports management over at CMO.
Yeah. Who do you have who's your teacher for that one?
Well, Professor Scott.
Yep, I had it with her too.
Yep.
Yeah, she's great, and that's a great class. I love it.
Yes.
I loved that class.
Lots of fun. Lots of fun.
Because for those of you that don't know, we'll just go ahead and we'll explain it because it's such a fun class. So, is it Intro to Sports Management?
That's the
name of the
one.
class.
Yeah, Intro to Sports Management.
It's Intro to Sports Management. So everybody gets a college football team to be basically the athletic director for. And so as you go through the class, the times that you spend working on that project, it's really a group and a solo project at the same time, because you have to work with the other athletic directors to schedule football games. And
fill out all the contracts.
Fill out the contracts, set up your schedule. The easiest part is it's guaranteed 2 years, because you're doing a 2-year schedule. So it's guaranteed you play at one place and then you play at your place the next time. So you set up your schedule, and then you talk to her. I don't know if it's the same. When I was doing it, we would talk to her. She was ESPN. So we would talk to her to try to convince her to put your game on as the game of the week, national game of the week. So, we'd go. So when I took it, I ended up getting Tennessee because we had an odd number of students. And so when I got to pick, or when I picked the school out of the hat, I ended up being by myself. I had no conference.
So you're saying you happened to draw Tennessee?
No, I picked a team that didn't have a conference with anybody else. Like we had put teams. So she brought me to the front one day, and she's like, you know what? Since you're in a conference by yourself, there's nobody else. Because that was another point of it. You had to schedule your conference games. She let me pick a team to. She's like, we'll let you join, one of the bigger ones, because we've got people were throwing out LSU and Georgia and stuff. She's like, well, you want to join the SEC or something? I was like, yeah, can I be Tennessee? So I didn't pick it at first, but I got to pick it. And so, and then it basically you decide, you sell out every game, so you make the money, and you split it with the smaller school. Yeah. If you play the smaller school, you pay them and all that. So it's such a fun class, and those were the best days of the week, because we usually did it on Fridays. Fridays was usually our sports management day.
That was the
and
day.
Then Monday and Tuesday were class days.
See, and one thing they've switched around there is now Monday was the day where we worked on the project, and Fridays was what they call like the virtual day. So we just have an online assignment that we'd have to do. So yeah, pretty cool. We both able to take that class. You had told me about it, and then it turns out I actually got enrolled in the class, had the same professor as you did, and it was a lot of fun. That was one of my favorite classes.
She's one of the good professors out there for the sports management program at SEMO. So if you're thinking about if you need to take a sports management class, Intro to Sports Management with Professor Scott.
Yeah. Ryan and I can recommend it.
That's right. I can recommend it to you. Yeah. It's a lot of fun. Obviously, you still got to learn, but you actually learn while doing that other stuff too as well.
That's exactly right.
So we got about 5 minutes here before the second half, and neither team out on the field yet. The band is actually done, which is new compared to where we've been the first 2 weeks. We usually had to add time. We've actually got plenty of time, but I don't think the teams will be out on the field in time, so they'll probably still end up adding those 3 minutes.
So we'll tell you about Reynolds Roofing, Exteriors, and Coatings for all your roofing needs. Call Reynolds Roofing, Exteriors, and Coatings, the #1 roofer in Southeast Missouri, roofingbyreynoldsmo.com. Proud sponsors of the broadcast booth here all season long. Cape Radio 95.7 FM, 1550 AM. Also, if you're watching and listening to us over on YouTube, type in Cape Central Sports. You will find the live stream on our YouTube channel as well. And Ryan, we were talking about it. What do they call the Saints Stadium? It used to be called Mercedes-Benz Stadium, and now it is Caesar Superdome.
Yeah, that's it. It's the Superdome again. That's
Caesar
right.
Superdome is what they officially call that now.
Because, Mercedes-Benz is now the Falcons Stadium.
The Falcons, yes. That is correct. And speaking of NFL, how's your fantasy team shaping up?
Well, I ended up losing last week.
Okay.
I thought I was going to win, but whoever I was playing last week ended up getting a few extra points at the end of the week.
Well, looks like you got a healthy team.
Yeah, well, originally it didn't look like it because they had Lamar Jackson. I got him as my quarterback. They had him marked as questionable.
Ooh.
But when I looked at it, because I was like, I better figure that out now.
Yeah.
It said he'd be fine to go. He'd be ready to go for the game on Sunday. He was just a little sore, so I went ahead and left it.
See, I'll be going up against Paul this week.
No.
And I've got James Cook on my team. I don't know if you were watching the game last night Ryan. Thursday night
Oh,
football.
no, I did not,
Bills,
no.
Dolphins. Okay, I didn't watch either. I had some other stuff going on, but James Cook put up an impressive performance, 3 overall touchdowns on the evening, and anybody who's got James Cook on their fantasy team is going to be in very, very good shape, I'll put it that way, because he got 28 fantasy points in the league I'm in. Kind of depends on different leagues, different rules. Sometimes it can vary a little bit, but that is James Cook, running back for the Buffalo Bills. He's having a great season so far.
Oh, that's why I lost. The other guy I played against, he had Moody as his kicker.
Jake Moody.
Yeah, that's why I ended up losing. A lot of people ended up losing last week because of Jake Moody.
Dang.
Basically just scoring all the points for the 49ers.
Wow.
So, yeah, that's one of the reasons. And I don't know who in our league has Tua, but I'm not sure. I haven't seen any updates, but I know a lot of people, obviously, you have tons of doctors on the internet
Yes.
that diagnose these people when they get hurt. But there are some of them that have said, the way he clenched his hand and stuck his arm up, that's very clearly a sign of either being knocked out or concussion or both.
Yeah.
So, and the way his head kind of, I don't know, twisted a little. It definitely did not look good, that's for sure.
I do kind of wonder what the status will be on Tua.
And speaking of big hits, did you see was it Notre Dame? When he caught that punt and he didn't call a fair catch and he got I don't even know if this is from this year, to be honest. But it's a guy with a gold helmet, so I'm guessing it was Notre Dame. He gets just crushed as he catches the ball, and it looks like part of his face mask or something snaps off and flies through the air.
Boyd is in a boot.
No, I had not noticed. That.
Well, no, we'll take a break and then we'll come back here. Boyd's in a boot. I see him sitting down and the trainer is talking to him. Joe Bob Cameron over here came over and pointed that out. I can't see his foot, but he says he's in a boot, so that's not good. So let's see how much time they add back on the clock before we decide if we're going to take a break or not, because it's getting close. 14 seconds left. Let's see what they decide to do. Well, also, Zaire Thomas he doesn't have his pads on. He's just out here in his jersey and his football pants. So he's not coming back for the second half to play, which is expected, considering it's 49-3 at halftime. And it looks like we're getting ready to get this one started again as the Tigers huddle up over near the end zone. So we'll take 1 minute break and then we'll come back. So we'll be back in a minute. So 49-3, the Tigers lead here at Cape Central High School. I'm Ryan Winkler alongside Chandler Jansen. And Chandler, we're getting ready to start this third quarter here. It's 49-3. Keyshawn Boyd is down on the sideline with no pads and a boot, as this one is going to be caught at about the 20, and he will get brought down at about the 22-yard line, is about as far as he's going to make it. So Keyshawn Boyd on the sideline with a boot on. I noticed Zaire Thomas, he's out here without his pads on. He's going to – it doesn't look like he's injured. I think it's just he's done for the day, considering 49-3.
Yeah, probably don't need to put your star players out. Don't want to risk that kind of injury when you're up so lopsided.
So the Tiger defense is going to try to shut down the Bulldog offense once again here in the second half, and that is a broken play there as he's only going to gain a couple yards. He's going to gain 1 yard. Makes it 2nd and 9 as it looked like he ran into one of his own defenders. As that mercy rule is in effect and the clock runs. Three receivers over to the left side, and they're going to hand it off. And they will gain nothing. It gets back to the line of scrimmage, so it'll be 3rd and 9.
Once again, this Tiger defense just holding up so strongly here, Ryan, not allowing a single yard to be moved offensively for the Bulldogs.
There was a nice block there at one point. It looked like he flipped his blocker over. The Tigers defense just punishing the Bulldogs. Quick throw, and that's going to be too far out in front of him and incomplete. And it'll bring up 4th down. And the Bulldogs will punt it away.
So another 3 third and out possession for the Bulldogs, as they cannot seem to get anything really working offensively here. Tigers going to take the ball back now, and something they've been able to do on every single drive is score a touchdown. They've gone 7 for 7. Ryan, 49 points. They lead at 49-3 here. 9:40 left to play in the third quarter.
They'll set up to punt it away, and it's tipped and blocked. And it's going to be picked up by the Tigers. He's at the 15, the 10, the 5, into the end zone for a touchdown. A blocked punt that gets returned for a Tigers score. And that is number 51. Sean Shelton. Once again, we called his name earlier into the first half. And he gets himself a punt return touchdown after it was tipped off the fingers of another one. Sorry, that's Landrick McFerrin, according to the scoreboard, who scored that one. I thought that was Sean Shelton. We'll try to figure that out.
I almost think they're wrong.
That's what I thought. The kick is up, and it's good, and it's 56-3 here in the third quarter. And, yeah, I agree. I think we had it right. I believe it was Sean Shelton who came away with that punt return touchdown as the Tigers just add on to that lead, 56-3.
So we will tell you about Rosati's Pizza. Whether it's for a quick lunch or you're bringing the whole family, Rosati's is the go-to for when it comes to all your pizza needs. Rosati's, feeding the people since 1964. So Tigers just cruising in this one. 56-3 is your score. They have gone 7 offensive possessions, 7 touchdowns. That last touchdown being from a punt kickoff. It was blocked. Punt was blocked, and it turns out Shelton comes into the end zone, runs it all the way back, puts them up by 6 more, and then Charlton tacks on the extra point.
And that one's going to bounce into the end zone for a touchback. And it'll be 1st and 10 from their own 20-yard line, down by 53 points with 8:34 to go in the third quarter. Wait for the referee to set the football, and now the clock will start once again, and it won't stop until at least until another touchdown. But we're gonna hand that one off. He'll run it up the middle, and he's not going to get anywhere with that one. And that'll bring up 2nd and 10. Nope. Looks like he did maybe get a yard, 2nd and 9.
Looks like the Bulldogs still rolling with a lot of their main players offensively.
Yeah, Baker's still still under center for the Bulldogs and quarterback.
They still got Holcomb out there as well.
They'll put a man in motion. He's going to fake the handoff, throwing downfield, and it is caught, and he'll be brought down in Tiger territory at about the 45-yard line, and we got a flag on the play at the 50, and it's going to be holding against the Bulldogs. Couldn't be holding, could it? It's got to be a face mask or something.
Are they still talking it over? I can't tell.
I can't tell either. Apparently not.
Yeah, ball is at midfield right now.
Yeah, ball at the 50, so I don't know what it was, but I guess it was holding on Sikeston. And they'll just move it back, or move the ball back to the spot of the foul. So 1st and 10 from the 50. And a quick throw across is caught, and he'll get brought down at the for the 46-yard line. A gain of 4 makes it 2nd and 6.
And how about that? Martavian Robinson and Logan Margetta both coming in there for the Tigers, making the big stop. 1st and 10. It's going to be now 2nd and 6 for the Bulldogs.
And they're going to keep it himself. Baker trying to run around the outside. He's going to get tripped up and then pushed down. But he will gain 2 to make it 3rd and 4 as he gets down to the 44-yard line.
So able to get him down there. A gain of about 2, we'll say, on the play. 3rd and 4 from the Tigers' 44-yard line.
He's going to fake the handoff, a throw over to the near sideline of the 40, and he's going to be brought down at the 39. That's enough for a 1st down. So 1st and 10 from the 39, Tiger 39. 6:05 to go here in the 3rd quarter.
Not a lot of 1st down conversions on the night, Ryan. That's one where Keen Atkins was able to move the chains. 1st and 10 now.
We're going to get a water break here, and we'll take it with him. We'll be back in a minute after this. (56-3) here in the 3rd quarter with 5:56 to go. And Baker will keep it himself, trying to run it up the middle. He'll get to the 35. They mark him down at the 34. So a gain of 5 for the Bulldogs. So Pierce Baker getting it up the middle and cutting it down to 2nd and 5. As he'll set up with 2 receivers to the left and 2 to the right. Set up in the shotgun. As he's going to throw over to the left side, and it's going to be almost intercepted as he came out as he was knocked down towards the turf. And it'll be 3rd and 5.
Just so close on that pick.
Yeah.
How about that? So close. That is Landrick McFerrin for the Tigers, just in and off of his fingertips, and that could have been a pick. Hey, that clock continues to roll. We got 3rd and 5. Less than 5 minutes left to go here in the 3rd quarter.
And a step back to pass again. Baker will throw deep towards the end zone. And it's caught. It's a completed pass at the 4-yard line. Nice little play there by the Bulldogs here late in the 3rd quarter. And it's going to be 1st and goal from the 4.
So the Bulldogs are in the red zone for the very first time in this one. We'll see if they can convert with a touchdown or not.
There are 2 receivers to the left, 1 to the right. And a flag comes in. It's going to be a delay of game as the play clock hits 0, and that'll bump them back to the 9-yard line, a 5-yard penalty.
I'll tell you about Strickland Engineering, mechanical, electrical, civil, and structural. That is Strickland Engineering. They have you covered. For more information, find them online, stricklandengineering.com.
The Bulldogs get into the end zone for the touchdown, and it's 56-9. As that's the first touchdown given up by the Tiger defense now this season. So they give a field goal in the 2nd quarter and then a touchdown here with 3:18 left in the 3rd quarter. As Batista, he's going to line it up to try to kick the extra point. And, oh, it's a bad snap. It's going to get away, and he's just going to have to fall on it, as that will be no good on the point after attempt. As pretty much that whole defensive line there for the Tigers came running through to get to that football.
Yeah.
And so the Bulldogs finally get a touchdown, and that's the first touchdown given up by the Tiger defense this year.
We knew it'd probably happen sooner or later, Ryan. That's not a thing you can really prevent if you're a defense. But for 2 games, something to be said, something to be proud of for this Cape Central Tiger offense and defense. Not only offense, but defense too. It's just firing on both sides of the ball.
If you want to be technical about it, yeah. 2.5 games without a touchdown, 2 games and a quarter without any points. So 9 quarters of no points, 10 quarters, almost 10.5. Well, yeah, over 10.
Pretty impressive.
More than 10.5 with no touchdowns. Yeah,
we'll take it. But hey, offense coming back out on the field now. We're going to see what they can do here.
They'll kick that one away, and it's going to be caught at about the 4-yard line. They're going to bring it out on the far sideline. Pushing through, a flag comes in. He's going to cut back towards the middle. He makes one man miss. He may have broken a tackle there, gotten away from the hand, and he's going to stiff arm another one, and he's going to be pushed down now. That's Breon Clemens with the great return there by the Tigers. As he gets to the 35-yard line, he ran from one end of the field, or one side of the field to the other. And we'll see the penalty is against the Tigers, unfortunately. So that'll push it back to the, they're going to First, they're going to place it at the spot of the foul and then move it back from there. So it'll be 1st and 10 from the 16-yard line in Tiger territory. And Chapman Ogles will come into the game here for the Tigers at quarterback. I think he's talking to you. What?
He's saying something to us. I can't understand what he's saying.
He's going to fake the handoff, keep it himself, running around the outside. And he's going to get brought down to the 40. Nice run there by the Tiger offense, getting it to the, looks like the 39-yard line. So 1st and 10 from the 39.
So, yeah, this is the 8th offensive drive, Ryan, for the Tigers offense. They've scored 8 touchdowns so far, last one being off that punt block. Shelton got into the end zone for the touchdown.
A high snap. They're going to bring it down, hand it off, running it up the middle. And he'll get brought down. They're going to mark it down at the 43-yard line. So 2nd and 6. A minute 10 to go here in the 3rd quarter. They're going to hand it off with a jet sweep. And, whoo, trying to jump over that defender, but the defender caught him pretty much around the waist and then just brought him down and onto the turf.
That's Bryce Williams there on the carry for the Tigers.
So 44 seconds to go here in the 3rd quarter as the clock continues to run. As Ogles will hand it off again. He's going to break one tackle in the backfield, and then he's going to be brought down at about the 46-yard line. That'll be 4th down. Nope, they're going to mark it at the 47. Nope, 46.
And I guess this will be the
This will
very
be the first punt. Yeah, first time the Tigers won't score on a drive, and we're actually going to probably wait for the 4th quarter as the time is about to expire, and there it goes. So we head to the 4th quarter, and the Tigers lead 56-9. We'll be back in a minute. You're listening to Cape Central Tiger football on Cape Radio 95.7 FM News Talk. So we get ready to punt this one away. Here is we start the 4th quarter. I'm Ryan Winkler alongside Chandler Jansen. As the Tigers lead 56-9, and the punt is away. And it's going to bounce, and it'll take a Tiger hop. It'll be picked up at about the 22-yard line. The clock runs again as the Bulldogs take over, 1st and 10 from the 22.
Yeah, Ryan, I think that clock will continue running. I don't foresee anything changing that. I don't think the course of this game will be altered whatsoever at this point. 56-9. That is your score as Tigers getting ready to pick up their 3rd win of the season. They're going to improve to 3-0 after this.
And a bad snap. He's going to have to pick it up off the turf, and he's going to be brought down. He does gain 2 yards, so he turned nothing into something. It'll be, well, they're going to mark him, give him 3 yards, so it's 2nd and 7. As that one will be a nice little gain out to the 30. So we'll gain 5 more. It'll be 3rd and 2 with 10:26 to go here in the 4th quarter.
Sponsoring your broadcast booth all season long, Reynolds Roofing, exteriors and coatings for all things roofing. The #1 roofer in Southeast Missouri. That is roofingbyreynoldsmo.com. Broadcast booth sponsors of Cape Central Tigers football.
And he's going to get himself a 1st down as he got plenty more. He gets to the 40-yard line in Tiger territory as he's brought down.
So how about that? Kenneth Holcomb.
It was a good run there. He gets it from basically from 140 to the other, more or less. And, oh, they're actually going to mark him at the 45. He must have stepped out of bounds before getting down to the 40-yard line. Yeah, step back to throw now. Baker rolling to his left, throws, and it's too far out in front. And it's going to be incomplete. 2nd and 10.
So he had his intended receiver on the play right there. It was Luke Gadberry. Time keeps ticking away in this one. We've got just under 9 minutes left to play before the game goes final. Tigers lead at 56-9 here at Tiger Stadium.
Three receivers to the right side, one to the left. He's going to roll to his right. Throws, caught, and brought down. Let's see if they're going to mark him at the 40 or the 35, and they will give him the 1st down. And it'll be 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line for the Bulldogs.
So just enough for that 1st down, moving the chains once again for the Bulldogs. 2nd time of this possession as they're putting together a nice little drive for what it's worth.
Joey Charlton out there on the tackle for that one.
Okay.
The only reason I really know that, well, I saw it on the scoreboard, but also you can see his pink cleats from up here. They run that one up the middle, and they'll get that to the 28-yard line. A nice gain for the Bulldogs. It's 7:50 to go here in the 4th quarter, and it's 2nd and 2. They marked at the 27.
Time just keeps ticking away. This continuous clock here, 2nd half.
3 receivers on the right side, and he's going to throw to the sideline, and it's out of bounds, and a little bit too hard for his receiver as it not just went out of bounds, but went over the head, it almost looked like.
So Cape Central Tiger defense making a few substitutions out there. Looks like Jawayne Laxton will come off the field. Aiden McGuire to check in for the Tigers defense.
And he's going to pump fake, throws, and did he catch that? Yes, he did. What a play by the receiver for the Bulldogs, Kendarius Love. As that basically thread the needle there as they were trying to get in there for that interception, and was able to make the reception and get them a first down, 1st and 10 from the 22. And I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a handoff, a fake handoff, but it got nowhere and a lose 2 yards back to the 24-yard line.
And that Tigers defense just read that play so well. Devin Boyd coming up making the tackle for the Tigers defense. It's going to be a 2nd and 12. They'll say he lost 2.
And now we hit the 6-minute mark, so we're going to take an official timeout for a water break as the Tigers leading 56-9 here in the 4th quarter.
So as they take this timeout, we tell you about Stone Mountain Flooring. Locally owned since 1993, Stone Mountain Flooring is your trusted source for all things flooring. Online at stonemountaincarpet.biz. So with exactly 6 minutes left to play in this one, Tigers looking to pick up win number 3 on the season, improve their record to 3-0. Sikeston will fall 1-2 when this one is said and done with, 56-9. That is your score. When we return play here, Bulldogs will lead it Bulldogs will have it rather, 2nd and 12 from their own 24. A lot of people have already cleared and left the stadium this evening, as this one has been very lopsided from the start. Lots of fans still waiting here and watching the last few minutes play out, though, from Tiger Stadium.
Yeah, quite a few cleared out, but yeah, still a lot of people left here in the stands. As the Bulldogs will hand it off, trying to run it up the middle, and he's going to break through and get down to the 12-yard line. Just enough for a first down. 5:43 to go here in the 4th.
They've picked up about 4 first downs throughout the course of this drive.
And we got a player down out on the field for the Tigers. As he seems to be in a little bit of pain, maybe a cramp. You know, it's not hot, but it's not cool. So it's one of those situations where it's not hot, so you're not necessarily feeling hot like you had been the first couple weeks. So you don't drink as much because you don't think you need to, and you end up cramping.
So that is Lamarion Patton, Tiger player who is down.
They've got him up, and he's going to walk off on his own, but he's going to use Ricky as kind of a stabilizer there and hold on to his shoulder as he limps towards the sideline. And I'm thinking maybe that's exactly what it is, just a cramp that he wasn't able to work out on his own, as they're going to take him over to the sideline and work on him there. So 1st and 10 from the 12, just under 5.5 to go here in the 4th. 2 receivers to the right side, 1 to the left, and Baker's going to keep this one himself. He's going to run it up the middle, and he got spun around and brought down at the 6-yard line. Baker looks like maybe clipped a little hard as he was trying to run up the middle and spun around and ends up falling to the turf. But he is back up, and he's kind of got he's got a bit of a limp there as he walks/jog back to the line of scrimmage to set up for the play. 4:40 left, and they're going to hand this one off, and he's going to get swallowed up, and I think the ball actually came loose. The Tigers say that they have it. And it looks like maybe the Bulldogs fell back on top of it, and they'll keep it as they lost, looks like 3 yards.
The Tigers defense making a few more substitutions down there. We see Bryce Williams come into the game, Kenny Lewis to check out.
We got one Bulldog player running off to the sideline. He's in some kind of pain there too. We're going to get a timeout by the Bulldogs right before the play clock expires. We got a lot going on here in just these last few minutes that having a tough time keeping up with everything.
Some ailments.
Yeah. Right here towards the end of the game. 3:49 left here in the fourth. It's 56-9. The Tigers leading over Sikeston.
And we got to tell you about Stone Mountain Flooring. Locally owned since 1993, Stone Mountain Flooring is your local trusted source for all things flooring. Online at stonemountaincarpet.biz. Proud sponsors of Cape Central football all season long. I'm Chandler Jansen, joined by Ryan Winkler for week number 3 of high school football. Of course, you can listen to us, Cape Radio at 95.7 FM, 1550 AM. Also, all season long at YouTube, Cape Central Sports. You will find us. Watch, follow along, listen to us call the games for you from the press box. We'll have each and every call. Next week, going on the road to Poplar Bluff. So we'll be looking forward to bringing you that call as well. One of 3 road games they have this season.
And he's going to roll out, throw towards the end zone, and he's there. It's caught for the touchdown as he backs into the end zone, and it's 56-15 with 3:30 to go here in the fourth. We'll come in to attempt the extra point, Bautista. Tried to say 2 words at the same time.
See if he can make this one a 40-point game if he makes it.
And he does. 56-16. It's a little over 3 minutes and 3 seconds to be exact, left here in the fourth quarter.
For mechanical, electrical, civil, structural, and surveying, Strickland Engineering has you covered. For more information, find them online at stricklandengineering.com. They bring you Cape Central Sports. So we got 3:03 left to play here in this one. Clock does stop because we just had a score. Bulldogs put up their second touchdown of the evening. 56-16 is your score. As they'll be set to kick this one off. And see what the Tigers offense can do. Well, they come back out on the field here.
Yeah, for the first time in this game, they actually had to punt it away. The Tigers did.
Yeah, last possession ended in a punt. Very first one, only one that we've seen so far in this ball game.
So Bautista will line it up. Nope. We're going to switch kickers.
Oh.
No, we're not. Bautista thought we were switching kickers because he started to run towards the sideline, and now he's just going to run at it and kick it away. It's going to be caught at about the 12, 13-yard line. Makes one man miss. Clemens running it up the middle. He's going to cut back towards the near sideline. He's got one man behind him. He's going to try to race him down the sideline. He's going to cut back towards the middle now, and a flag comes in. As Brayon Clemens will get into the end zone, hopefully for a touchdown. We'll see what happens. Yeah, I believe there was a flag back here over and by the sideline that we can't actually see.
I think there's more than one flag out there,
There might be more than one flag, yeah.
So they'll get this all sorted out. Wow.
And it looks like we're going to get a block in the back by the Tigers. So that's going to take the touchdown away. Unfortunately for Brayon Clemens, blocking the back for the Tigers. It's going to be a first down, but where they place the football? Looks like maybe at the spot of the foul at the at the 25.
And it was a heck of a run by Brayon Clemens.
Yeah, Brayon Clemens making the catch at about the 12, 13-yard line, and then running up the middle, cutting over here to the near sideline, somehow putting on the brakes, and then running across to the other side of the far sideline into the end zone for what would have been a touchdown had it not been for a block in the back, and it's actually going to be 1st and 10 from the 35. The foul must have happened at the 25, so 10 yards from the spot of the foul. 1st and 10 from the 35. Eden McGuire in the game as the quarterback, it looks like. And he's going to hand it off. And he'll get brought down after a gain of, looks like 1. Makes it 2nd and 9.
A little handoff play there. Bray Lane for the Tigers on the run. Just under 2 minutes left to play in this one.
Two receivers to the left, and they'll put a man in motion, and they're going to hand it off, the fake, the jet sweep, hand it off to the tailback. And he's going to get to the 29, 30-yard line. Let's see where they actually mark him down. Looks like the 30. So another gain of 4 makes it 3rd and 5. A minute 15 left here in the fourth quarter. Minute remaining. 2 receivers to the left, 1 in motion now. And they'll get the snap. He's going to hand it off. They'll get across the 30 to the 28. That'll bring up 4th down. Looks like maybe the 29.
We should have about time for one more
Did get to
play.
the 28-yard line. 4th, and we are going to have to run a play. Looks like there's a second in between the play clock and the game clock. And really, if they want to just take the snap, step back, and then kneel it, that should take a second.
They could do that.
As long as you wait till it gets down to 1 second on the play clock, 2 seconds on the game clock. And the snap and the kneel, and that is it. That will do it for this one. The Tigers will win 56-16 over the Sikeston Bulldogs. And we'll be back in 3 minutes with a postgame show. You're listening to Cape Central Tiger football on Cape Radio 95.7 FM News Talk. So the Tigers win 56-16 here over the Sikeston Bulldogs and improve to 3-0 on the season. The Bulldogs fall to 1-2, and Chandler was all Tigers all day, as it was 35-0 at the end of the first quarter. And we were wondering if they could get to that 28 by the end of the first quarter, because the first 2 weeks it was 28-0 at halftime, and the Tigers got that and some.
Yes.
And will win the battle for I-55 once again for the third year in a row. And as far as I know, I'm pretty sure that we've only been battling for that trophy for 3 years. So far, the record is 3-0 for Cape Central.
3-0, just like it is on the season, Ryan. 3-0. That is what the Cape Central Tigers will improve their record onto this evening. Lots to feel positive about, both offensively and defensively, if you are a Tigers fan. We talked about it. If you were following along, keeping track as the game went along, seven touchdowns in 7 possessions. Then we had that 8th touchdown, which was a punt block. And Sean Shelton, he ran that back for a touchdown. And then we also had the one and only punt from the Tigers. We'll take it. You know, that's a great game, and there's really no other way to look at it. 56-16 is your final score, so they end up winning by 40 points. And we'll go ahead and give the player of the game to Keyshawn Boyd. 3 of those touchdowns came from him this evening, and he looked so impressive out there, just like he has for the last 2 weeks. We talk about the dual threat between Zaire Thomas and Keyshawn Boyd in that backfield, and the defense doesn't know what to do with him. They can't stop him. 3-0. They will improve their record onto the season, so thanks to everybody watching over there on YouTube, Cape Central Sports, and listening online to Cape Radio FM 1550 AM and 95.7 FM.
Paul Tran just asked one of the cheerleaders to homecoming. As you can see down there on the sign, asked her right here at post-game, after the game, and looks like she said yes, so good for Paul Tran.
Awesome.
He gets 2 wins tonight. One for the win against the Bulldogs, and one he gets a win getting a day to homecoming. So.
Paul Tran, of course.
Paul Tran, yeah.
He was the one who got this offensive explosion started on the evening. He's the one who caught that very first touchdown, and ever since then, it was just touchdown after touchdown after touchdown. 56-16, as we said, that is your final. Now, Ryan and I will have the call for you next week, as well, as we will be traveling on the road, taking on Poplar Bluff Mules. So we look forward to calling that game for you once again. 7 o'clock. We'll have it on YouTube as well. Cape Central Sports. Watch, follow along all season. Also 95.7 FM and 1550 AM. Looking at the Poplar Bluff Mules, they are 1-1. And they're currently facing off against Farmington, where they actually trail by 2, 35-33. That is the score. So Farmington is up over the Mules, 35-33. We'll be facing them next week. Looking ahead to the next couple weeks, actually. Cape Central Tigers 3-0 right now, and we have 3 road games on the season. We were talking about that, kind of, I guess, gotten lucky in some ways, Ryan, that we get to call the games just right over the hill from the radio station. That's where we're at here for Tiger Stadium. Every single game, we will have the call for you.
I think we've talked about it before. I know we've talked about it between the two of us. I don't know if we've mentioned on air. There would have been 4 road games, but Live for Life, which is one of the games towards the end of the season, does not have their own football field, so they are just going to come here 2 years in a row.
Okay.
So we'll get 2 home games out of that one between us and Live for Life.
Yeah.
But like Chandler said, next week we go to Poplar Bluff to take on the Mules, and the Mules 1-1 on the season, and like you said, trailing 35-33.
Yeah, that's
here to Farmington. So yeah, a close game there between the 2 teams.
That's a good one. Yeah.
So hopefully the Tigers can use this momentum that they got this week, continue to play well all year long, and really just continue this win streak now, 3-0.
Yeah.
And hopefully make another deep run. I know there's one big stepping stone in Cardinal Ritter in the district, and that will more than likely be this district championship. If the Tigers do get to the championship, it'll be against Cardinal Ritter, I'm sure, because if you can get to the district playoffs as the 2 seed, we're pretty much guaranteed that Cardinal Ritter will end up probably being 1, I'm sure.
Team we kind of dread to face, I guess,
Yeah,
in some ways.
a lot of teams dread to face that one.
Yeah.
And as of the last time that I checked, they had 6 D1 commits, so it's possible they are even actually up a few numbers from that. So,
yeah, they really handed it to Jackson 2 weeks ago, and Cape Jackson, that'll be 3 weeks away, so 3 weeks exactly. As Poplar Bluff is next week, St. Dominic the week after that, and then 3 weeks from now, October 4th, we will have the call Cape against Jackson. This year, it's going to be here at Tiger Stadium. So last year it was a shutout. Jackson won big. This year I have a feeling it'll probably be a little bit of a different result.
Yeah, it'll probably be different.
I think it will be. So that's why we call the games, though. Anything could happen. And we're going to have every single call for you. I'm Chandler Jansen along with Ryan Winkler, Cape Radio 95.7 FM, 1550 AM, also on YouTube, Cape Central Sports. Thanks to everybody watching over there, following along. And that is what we like to do for you, calling these games. We really enjoy it.
Yeah,
so.
Thank you for listening. Thanks for watching. And like Chandler just said, I'm Ryan Winkler alongside Chandler Jansen. And we will see you next week in Poplar Bluff for week 4. So thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.